If you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know I've covered a lot of AI robots here on the channel, but in today's video, I want to focus exclusively on robots that are made for adults. This will range from playing games to helping you on your daily workflow, all the way down to just keeping you company as a physical robot. And the kicker, all of the robots featured in this video are going to be below $1,000 USD. Emo, I'm talking right now. Also, to be completely transparent, as I was doing research for this video, I was completely blown away by what's out there and also a little bit scared. With that being said, let's jump in.
Will you be my friend? Friendship cannot exist between man and machine, but I can simulate interest in your statement.
Starting out with number 1 on our list, we are going to talk about ElliQ, the sidekick for healthier, happier aging. Now, I wanted to kick this list off with ElliQ because I think it's one of the most unique robots on this list, honestly. This robot is primarily aimed at the elderly. However, I think it's a great addition to any home. And I plan on doing a full review on just this robot in an upcoming video. So, standout features, number 1, you can have daily conversations with ElliQ that are unique. And it also includes music, jokes, trivia, audiobooks, games, and more to keep your mind active. Number 2, you can easily video call and send and receive messages to and from your family and friends. Another really cool feature is that you can create and share your own digital memoir. Basically, you talk to ElliQ, ElliQ records it, and it's basically in this memoir form forever for all your family and friends to see, even after you pass, or if you just want to share it later on. Another really cool thing that I think is cool for people who are elderly, but also people of all ages, and I would enjoy this, which is that it helps you to continue learning. And one of the coolest features overall with ElliQ is that the interactions with it are completely natural. You don't have to prompt it, like saying like, hey ElliQ, and then wait for it to respond or say, huh? And then you can talk to it like some robots like, you know, Emo or some of the other ones that I've done on this channel. Now let's jump over to price. Basically the base model is $249, and then what kind of sucks, but I get it, is that this one has a subscription fee of $29.99 per month, but that's if you pay the full annual fee. If you don't do that and you just want to pay month to month, then it's $39.99 a month. Honestly, as I was looking at the subscription and the price of the robot, I got a little bit confused. It's probably just me, but when I totaled it all up inside of the ElliQ website, it totals out to be $609.87. And then of course, you'll have to continue your subscription from there on out. Having said all that, I still think ElliQ is pretty cool. Number 2 is a desktop pet that I think a lot of you are familiar with on this channel, which is Emo, the desktop robot. Now, Emo is a robot that I have spent a lot of time with, and I would be remiss in this video if I weren't able to mention him because he is pretty fantastic for your desk. Now, let's talk about its standout features. Number 1, and I've talked about this in other videos, he connects to ChatGPT, which is awesome. Now there are some drawbacks to this, which is like you have to prompt him and then he'll connect to ChatGPT, and then you ask him a question, and then once he answers it, he just drops out of ChatGPT mode. But I still think it's really cool that you can use ChatGPT through this robot without ever having to access the website or any of that. There's also currently not a subscription for that feature. It just comes with Emo, which is awesome. Another standout feature is that he's got a ton of games and interactions built in, and he gets updated pretty regularly, so you can expect new games and new interactions every couple months or so. Another plus is that he walks back to his own charger to charge. You don't have to do anything with him, so theoretically you could just keep him on forever if you feel safe doing that. I know some people don't. Another really cool feature about him that was just released in one of the new beta versions is that he speaks a bunch of different languages now. Now, the price on Emo varies a little bit. Emo Go Home, which is the one that I have, has the little Go Home charger station right here that he goes back to. This one is currently on the website for $369. However, heading into the holidays, I'm sure it's gonna go on sale at least a little bit. And if $369 for this little guy is a little bit too much for you, there's also a $279 version, which is just him with a skateboard. However, he won't charge on his own. You have to actually put him on the skateboard. And I should also mention that the shipping times are still pretty slow, although they've gotten better from when I originally got Emo, but they're still at about 2 to 3 months. And I would expect that to go up as the holiday season approaches. Now, next robot on the list is called ClicBot. It is a super cool little customizable robot brought to us by a company called KiKi, which we're gonna talk about again a little bit later because it makes another robot on this list, but let's stick with ClicBot for now. Standout features for this robot is obviously number one, it is super customizable with over 1,000 different configurations of the robot itself when you put it together. Second feature I have to mention is that it is fully programmable. So you can make this thing your butler and make it like bring you stuff from the kitchen. You can also turn it into a snake. It can like slither through the grass. And like the website shows, you can even install it in your car. However, this looks super dangerous to me and I probably wouldn't recommend doing this. I feel like it could go haywire at some point and just smack you in the face while you're driving, but it is a possibility among a million other possibilities. Another standout feature is a standout feature that I will always mention for KiKi robots, which is the community around it is amazing and you can access it through the app. You can create new prompts, people share different programming, and it's just a really neat community that I think got it right and a lot better than most of the robots on this list. Now, speaking of programming, there's also lessons that you can get within app to teach you how to program, and there's also tutorials on how to use this robot to the best of its abilities. Okay, but now that those are all the standout features, let's talk about price, because this thing ranges crazily, if that's a word. With the ClicBot, there are 4 different tiers of pricing. The lowest is called the starter kit, which is $449.99. Next up is your standard kit, which comes with a little bit more stuff it looks like, and it's $629.99. Next up from that is the full kit, which comes with even more stuff, and it is $854.99. Now, the fourth one on this tier I wanted to mention, however, it goes out of our budget over $1,000, and it is called the Maker's Kit, and it comes with a bunch of stuff. And it is priced at $1,259.99. However, because it goes over our $1,000 budget, I'm not gonna technically include it here, but I would just say that is also out there if you wanna get like the biggest, baddest version of this robot. Next on our list is a robot that is kind of like a robot pet to mimic the pet-like robot relationship, which is called KiKi. This robot comes to us from a company I had never personally heard of before researching for this video, but it is called Zoetic.ai. It's also currently, looking at its website, a bit hard to attain, but we'll get to that in just one second when we hit the price point. Now, the first standout feature for KiKi is a little bit creepy, at least to me, which is that it has a sense of self, whatever that means. Now, the company calls this drives. According to the website, her personality determines how these drives fluctuate in response to external stimuli. Acting according to her own drives, KiKi makes every decision meaningful and intentional, and apparently has a sense of self. That's creepy, but also pretty cool. With these drives, KiKi can also recognize different emotions on your face and react accordingly, which again, kind of spooky a little bit, but it's kind of what you want out of an AI robot. She also has multiple touch sensors, I think more than most of the robots on this list, which makes her super interactive and super able to respond to your touch. Okay, so let's jump over to price because this part gets really confusing. So on the website, it says that it is $799, which is a discount down from $1,499. So I suppose the base price is over our budget, but for the purpose of this video, right now it's $799. However, you can't buy it right now for some reason. It is not available, and the last time that they updated their website was 2022, saying that if you give them $99, you can pre-order one that is gonna come in 2022. But they haven't updated it since 2022, so I don't know if the robots ever even came that year, or if, let alone that they're on the website available now. So this was super confusing, but I had to add it to the list because if it ever does become openly available and it's not as confusing within their pricing model, I think this robot has a lot of potential. But because of this pricing structure and the way that their website says it's like not available and it's probably not gonna be available for a while, I'm not gonna be able to do a full review on this robot anytime soon, but I thought I would throw it in this list so that if it does become available, you can try it out. All right, jumping over to number 5 on our list, the MyCobot. Now this robot doesn't look as friendly as some of the other ones on our list. However, it is certainly capable, if not more than a lot of the other robots I've mentioned. The other thing about this robot is though that it is a lot more hands-on to set it up, it looks like. Now jumping out to its standout features, it's got advanced AI learning capabilities, which basically means that it's capable of quick image processing, robotic algorithmic developments, ROS simulation learning. Another really cool feature is that it has an open source ecosystem for coding, which can be done in Python and some other languages and is also powered by NVIDIA, which is a pretty trusted brand. It also has a ton of ports on the back, so if you're doing custom programming or you're trying to connect it to something else, it is going to be able to become that AI overlord that takes over your neighborhood exactly the way that you want it to. Now, to be perfectly honest, this robot has a lot of potential, but it also has a really big learning curve. So if you're somebody who really likes to dive in deep into the tech that you get, I think the MyCobot is gonna be your choice because you're gonna be able to program it to do whatever you want, and it can become your best friend, your companion, or just your workhorse on your desk that helps create new things for you. However, if that is not you, this might not be the right robot for you. Now, the other thing that might not make this the robot for you is the price. Now, with all of its features, it's surprisingly not over $1,000, but it is close at $849 plus tax and shipping, but all of these robots are gonna have plus tax and shipping. All right, let's move on. Next on our list is a robot fan favorite, which is the Vector 2.0. Now, this is a robot that is great for kids, adults, the elderly, whatever you want to get him for. He's great all around, and I've seen so many reviews on this guy, and I've been trying to get my hands on one, although it is currently sold out, although I will give you a certain price later, but it can do everything that, say, Emo can do, but I think even more. Now, first up on the standout features is a really cool one that the previous robots I don't believe you could do, although maybe with the Cobot you could maybe program it, but with the Vector 2.0, you can connect seamlessly with Alexa. So if that's already a part of your home system, this is gonna be perfect for you. The other standout feature I know is gonna be huge for a lot of you, which is they have a great data policy. Their policy even states, steal your heart, not your data, because they have a policy in place where they don't keep your data, which I think is a really cool thing for an AI robot to have. A lot of robots could learn from Digital Dream Labs on this one. Now, the robot does use an app and you can do a little bit more with it. However, it's not app dependent, which I think is another big plus. Second to last, Vector 2.0 can self-charge. So just like Emo or some of the other robots on this list, I think that is a really big thing because then you can just keep it on all day and it can go rest when it needs to and it can come back and play when it wants to. And last standout feature is something that should come standard with any robot that you get, but it is amazing at communicating and interacting with you. So it's got a lot of games, just like some of these other ones. It's got a lot of things that can help you with your workflow, and just overall, it is a great little friend companion that can be on your desk or just sitting on the floor. Now, as I previously mentioned, this robot is currently sold out right now in November of 2023, but it originally goes for $399.99, and once it's back in stock, I highly recommend it. I'll leave a link below, as I do with all the rest of these robots, so that you can go and check it out whenever you happen to see this video. Number 7 on our list is a robot that I've done a full video on. I've even done a comparison video on, and it's also made by the same company as one of the earlier robots, ClicBot, Loona Robot. Now, I would have this on right now to show you, but Loona is a little bit of a psycho and will roll all over the place, but nonetheless, an awesome companion. And some might say that that feature makes it even better of a companion because it's very dog-like in the sense that it goes crazy. Now, number 1 standout feature for this robot is that it can connect to ChatGPT, which is really cool. I know that Emo can do the same thing. However, this one is better because Loona can stay connected to ChatGPT until you want to disconnect from it. So that means that you get to just ask it anything you want. You can also have it act like it's somebody else, like it could be Homer Simpson, or it could be Iron Man, or somebody like that who you want to converse with, and it'll act like it's that person that you're conversing with, or you can just ask it normal questions that it can answer like ChatGPT can. The only downside to this robot's ChatGPT is that Loona itself is subscription based, so to get this in the future, I don't know if they're still offering the free subscription if you buy now, but I know that in the near future, if not already, you are gonna have to pay a subscription fee. It's low, but it's still a subscription fee. Who wants a subscription fee? Next standout feature, just like the ClicBot, is that it has an amazing community behind it. So like those ChatGPT prompts, other people have created their own. You can create your own, you can publish them so other people can use whatever your prompt is. And just in general, the community talks about different things that you can do with Loona. And again, I just think that KiKi Tech got this community aspect just right. Lastly, Loona can self-charge now. She didn't used to be able to, but now she's got a dock that can sit on the ground or wherever she is rolling around at, and she can self-charge, which is a huge plus because currently I don't have that feature on my Loona, and that would be a great feature because I gotta keep her plugged in all the time whenever I'm not using her. Jumping to the price, currently Loona's got a weird price of $382. It seems to always be on some sort of sale, so I don't even know what the actual base price should be, but right now currently it's $382. However, I should mention this caveat that doesn't include obviously the subscription price if that has kicked in yet. It also doesn't include if you want the self-charging station, which makes the Loona combo with the self-charging station $424. Still lower than a lot of the other robots on this list, but it's something to consider. Jumping over to our next robot, number 8 on this list is the Enabot Ebo X. Now, the Ebo X is one of the most pricey robots on this list. However, I think that it is justified when you find out some of the standout features, which are, number 1, the camera on this robot is a lot better than any of the other robots, I'm pretty sure, on this list because it is a 4K camera. Those don't usually come standard on AI robots. Next on the standout features, just like some of the other robots, it's got a self-charging station, so it'll go back there, charge, and then come back and hang out with you. Another standout feature is that it has Harman audio built in, so the speaker on it, if you want it to play music or it just talking, is amazing. I've heard some demos and it is actually really, really good and sounds a lot better than a lot of the other robots I've tested out or seen in other videos. Next standout feature is that Ebo is compatible with Alexa, which is always super cool, and that means it can connect with a bunch of your other home devices if you happen to use Alexa. Now, a standout feature that I really wanted to mention about this robot, because I think this really makes it worth the price, is that it can become a guardian for if you're elderly and you fall, so it's kind of like a life alert.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
We're sending help immediately, Mrs. Fletcher.
It can protect your baby from going into a fireplace. It can protect your dog from going out of the room or digging into the trash if you don't want it there by creating invisible barriers that the robot can tell if someone crosses. I think this is a really, really cool feature. It can also detect a crying baby if it just randomly starts crying or if it like falls out of its crib. And it has this crazy mapping feature, almost like a Roomba, where it maps your entire house, and then after it does that, you can create all of these invisible barriers. Now, honestly, I could probably go on about Ebo's features, but I'm gonna save that for a future video and do a full review on Ebo X soon. But let's talk about the price, because it's high. Ebo X is right at our budget at $999. So I guess you could make the argument that plus tax and shipping, it's gonna go over $1,000 budget, but to me, I think it fits under the $1,000 realm because I'm talking about before tax and before shipping. So $999, I think it's a great deal for this robot that can do a ton. We're getting close to the end of our list. Number 9 is gonna be the MooreBot Scout E. Now, this robot is more of an exploratory robot. However, it still feels like a companion to you, and it also feels like it's a lot more affordable because, well, it is. Standout feature number 1 is that this robot is compatible with Alexa. Another standout feature of this robot is that it is also auto charging, so it'll go back to its base, charge up, and come hang out with you. So the MooreBot, kind of like the Ebo X, can also map perimeters. So it can actually map on your yard where your perimeter starts and ends, and it will alert you via your phone, which I think is a pretty cool security feature. Something that I feel like a company like Ring or somebody should collaborate with if Ring doesn't already have something like that. And for its last standout feature, it has open source programming, which is huge because if you're a programmer, that means you can program this robot to do practically anything. So this all leads us to the price of the MooreBot Scout E, which is one of the best on this list at $219. That's a steal. And all right, guys, it is time for our very last robot, number 10. But before I get to it, please hit that subscribe button if you're really enjoying this content. And I'm not gonna drag this out anymore. Let's get to number 10, which is the AiNex robot. Now, I left the AiNex robot for the very end because it is the most human-shaped robot that we have on this list. Now, this robot comes to us from a company called HiWonder, which I've never bought a robot from, so I can't really vouch for, but looking on their website, they look pretty legit. As far as standout features go, number 1 is that it has Python programming, and there are lots of great easy tutorials online to learn how to Python program, so I feel like that makes this robot alone be able to do so much more than what's advertised. Number 2, and this is a huge one because this is almost stepping on like Tesla toes or something. It has AI vision technology built into the robot. Now, if you don't know what this means that it opens a world of possibilities. You can have it sort things for you, pick up stuff for you as long as it's strong enough to pick them up. It can even source by color of where you want certain things to go, and it can read by that. These are kind of like the basis to factory robots that I think are gonna take over the world in the future. Now, the AiNex robot can also move like a human, which is the next standout feature, with 24 different bus servos built into it. Now, if you don't want to program this robot and you just want to control it yourself to do tasks that maybe you're too tired to do or you're incapable of doing, you can actually control this robot as well, fully, from your phone, from your tablet, and from your computer. So to me, this is also a really cool thing for maybe people who are disabled, or you're just tired, or rather there's something that you just physically can't do or you can't get to. This robot can go and move stuff for you. It can also, like I said, learn how to do it on its own if that's something that you want it to do. This robot is almost endless, and I, again, wanted to leave this for the very ending because it is the most human-like robot, and I'm a little bit scared of it because I feel like this is the precursor to what's gonna take a lot of our manual jobs. Now, as far as the pay goes, for everything that it does, not too bad, although it is higher up on this list at $799.99. All right, guys, that is all 10 of the robots that I have for you today. However, I am gonna make a follow-up video to this with another 10 more robots because doing research on this, there are a ton out there. These are just the 10 best ones that I found for 2024 that I think that you should look into if you're looking for your own companion robot for whatever task you want it to do. I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Let me know which robot was your favorite or which one you plan on getting, or if you own one of these robots, let me know if you hate it or you love it. Also, if you're into AI robots, I wrote a book called The Very Strange Universe of Dr. Natalia Zeal, which includes a robot and a real-life human scientist going on a really cool adventure. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link down in the description below, as well as a link to all of the robots that I showed in this video right here. I'm going to leave a video if you want to go check it out. It's one of my more recent AI robot videos, and it may change your mind on what robot you want even from this video. So go and check that out. I'm Eric J. Coons. I've got a lot of robot videos, skateboarding videos, and urbex videos coming up. So stay tuned in future videos and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to. That'd be super cool. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.